Okay, so welcome everybody. This is something that I have wanted to do for quite a while. And Diablo 2 has been one of my very favorite games, maybe my favorite game of all time. Um, it's a toss-up with a couple of others, but it's certainly a game I've invested a tremendous amount of time into. And so I wanted to put together a stream Let's Play video going through the entire game. This is obviously on Xbox. This is Diablo 2 Resurrected, which for those of you who don't know, the original Diablo 2 came out like 20 to 23 years, no, 24 years ago now. And I first started playing when I was a sophomore in college, way back in the day, and it completely sucked me in. I'd never played an action role-playing game before, and Diablo 2 just hit so many buttons of things that I was looking for in a video game. And so when they announced the Resurrected version several years ago, of course I was going to get it. Was fortunate enough to be actually gifted it by a friend of mine, very, very close friend. And so I wanted to go ahead and just do an archive video, archive my Let's Play through the game as a single player doing solo, self-found. I'll explain kind of what all this stuff means, but basically just play through the game myself, and kind of experience it as though I was going through it for the first time, sharing it with anybody who wants to stumble upon this at some point in the future and see what is so great about this game. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, we'll do offline, and there's a couple of characters I have in here already, but basically we're going to be creating a new character. But before we do, I want to go ahead and just play the opening cinematic here, because I want the game to go through as though, you've never played it before, you've never seen it before. Play the cutscenes, talk to all of the people, do like a real Let's Play of it. So again, these graphics have been upscaled from the original cinematics that came out back in whatever it was, 1999 or 2000, when Diablo 2 first came out. And the remastery, the resurrected version of this game is great. They kept it very faithful to the original. We'll find out as we kind of go through this. I mean, I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but some things some things I think are pretty obvious, and one of them is that Marius is just kind of... He's the narrator of these cutscenes, but he's kind of a worthless human being. Blizzard has always done a really nice job with their cutscenes, and you know, Diablo is no exception. Some of this stuff is a little cheesy, but yeah, it fits the theme of the game. I wouldn't laugh at that guy. All right, so let's go ahead and get our new character made here. And this is going to be an homage to the first character I ever created when I started playing Diablo 20 odd years ago. which was an assassin. I literally, so you see, there's actually 7 different character classes you can choose from here. Amazon, Assassin, Necromancer, Barbarian, Paladin, Sorceress, and Druid. The Druid and the Assassin are expansion characters. They weren't in the base version of the game, just the other 5 were. But when I started playing, the expansion had already come out, and so the first character that I made was an Assassin, mostly because I thought she had the coolest opening move here of all of the different characters. There's not any customization or anything like that, it's just pick a class and go. So pick this class for non-ladder, standard, and expansion. Yep, okay, we're good. And the name here is going to be, my first character ever was Dan Zeal, the Assassin. And so this is going to be Dan Zeal the second. And let's go ahead. So again, we're playing this on the Xbox. This is my Xbox Series X, so the loading screens should be relatively short. But I'm just going to kind of go through this as talk to people, do things as you normally would if you had never played this game before. So let's kind of see what's going on here. Talk to this guy named War Eve. Recent troubles being whatever the stuff that happened in Marius's cutscene. Alright, so we'll talk to Akara. This is our stash. This is where we can put things that we pick up. You can see in the shared, you have 3 shared tabs that you share amongst all the characters in your account. Since it's offline, it's shared with all my offline characters. Right now I have none. So let's wander over and see if we can find Akara. Fortunately, I know that she is over here. Well, here she is. Alright, so now Akara is also a vendor. She sells potions and some magic items, wands and scepters and staves or staves. we may make use of that as we go through. Right now, we have no money, so there's really nothing we can do. We are simply equipped with a Qatar, which is the assassin's starting claw weapon, and a buckler, which is a very crude shield. And that's it. But we have a quest now, so let's check out our quest log here. Den of Evil, look for the den in the wilderness outside the rogues camp. So this is what we have to do, and this will play Akara's quest dialogue again, which we don't need to hear again. So that's that. Now, there's not really any skills to bind at this point. We just have a very basic attack, which is down at the bottom. You see I've got that mapped to the A button. Can't attack in town. This area that we're in right here is a town, because it's a rogue camp. There'll be a few kind of towns. It's your safe space where your vendors, your stash, and those kinds of things are. As soon as we leave here, though, we should be able to. So I'm going to pull up the map. And I like the map overlay. There's different ways you can do the map on here, but this is the way that I'm used to it. When you go to the options, I think you can do it. I'm not sure if it's in game settings or in gameplay where you can change the location of the map. Yeah, auto map size, full screen, opacity, you know, all of this kind of stuff. You can move it to being, rather than full screen, you can have it be in the right or the left or whatever. But I'm used to playing it at full screen like this. So it just kind of overlays on top of everything that, you know, everything we're doing here. So this is the exit to the rogue camp here. So let's go on out here and see if we can find that Den of Evil that Akara is looking for. We've already run into a couple of demons. They should be very easy to kill. These guys are all like your basic low-level dudes. And early on in the game, you just kind of run around, just beating up these guys. The assassin, arrows are basically useless, but the assassin, actually, we don't need the key either, because assassins have a perk that, I mean, not a perk, just like a hidden skill that basically allows them to open chests without needing a key. But the assassin skill, and here it is. Here's the Den of Evil. We've already found it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a town portal up here because we're going to come back to this and clear this up. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move... Oh, an experience shrine. That's nice. We'll put this on, and then let's go ahead and kill. So every once in a while, as you're going through the game, you'll find these shrines. And whenever you find a shrine, it usually has some kind of benefit for you. And this one, it happens to be an experience shrine. An experience shrine is fantastic because it increases the amount of experience that you get. You can see here we've got another shrine, and this is a health shrine. So, or actually, no, it's a poison shrine. I thought it was a health shrine. The poison shrine will just cast out a whole bunch of poison damage to any enemy monsters that are around it. Actually, it will also give it to you, but it also drops a whole bunch of gas potions, which can be useful as like a little AoE damage that you can use. So let's follow the path here. And unfortunately, we're not going to get a ton out of this experience shrine because there's just not that many monsters around here in this first level. There's a few of these guys, but not a lot. Now, the gold pickup in Diablo 2 Resurrected is automatic. You used to have to click with your mouse because, again, the original version of the game was not on Xbox L. And now, see here, this is one of the things that's very annoying early on in the game. Is your stamina runs out very quickly. You can only run for so long. And there you go. We've already leveled up because we've got over here, and I'll show you kind of where that stuff all shows up. But basically, there's a line across the bottom where it says life 50 out of 52. Right underneath that, there's two segments that are already kind of colored in cream colored or yellow colored, and that is the experience bar getting from one level to the next. So the reason I put up that town portal over by the Den of Evil is because I knew that this waypoint would be coming up, and once you have a waypoint you can just pop back to town, and this waypoint will stay in the game. You can just pop over to this. It's like a kind of free town portal that you can use. So let's go, actually, and normally you'd want to use the whole experience shrine, but let's go ahead and they don't last forever, right? The shrines last for, I want to say it's like 90 seconds or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the time is. Let's go meet the blacksmith in the camp here. So, she also sells things. She's got a dagger here. This dagger is actually really nice for... I think we may end up just keeping this. So right now, there's not a whole lot here that we can use. So we're just going to head over to the... I'll explain why that dagger is good later, but basically it's a very fast weapon, and the assassin skills are all based on how quickly she can use her weapons. So let's go ahead and pop back over here and take care of the Den of Evil, and then after that we will now you see we've run into our first shaman. And the shaman are really annoying because they will resurrect the fallen guys who come along. And I forgot, we have leveled up, but we haven't even... We'll pick up the leather armor. And that, you can see, that is like the extent of our customization in the game, really, is your armor. So if we take this off, you can see... That's our basic look with no armor. And we put this on, and it's a little bit different. Just got more of like a gray, or kind of almost like a metal color to it. Other kind of cool thing you can do here is you can switch over to the legacy version of the game. And this is what the game used to look like. You can see it's very pixelated and all of that. This is the classic Diablo that I know and remember. So from time to time, I will maybe put this on just for nostalgia's sake. But we'll pop back over to the resurrected, the remastered version. It's kind of neat the way that they did that and allowed you to kind of have that little nostalgia kick from it. So here we're just gonna kill the shaman first, because otherwise they'll just resurrect all these guys. Super annoying. Right. Dead road. Infinity scroll, that's fine. Low quality sash, that's nice. That allows us to hold more things. So you can see we're starting to pick up some items. We got our armor, we got a cap now. We have a sash, which means that our belt, which is just holding potions, will now be able to hold more potions. So we're going to just load that up with some healing potions and some mana potions. And the stamina potion is actually the most valuable one right now, because you just don't have that much stamina. The assassin is actually pretty lucky early on, because she starts with the Qatar, which is a really nice early weapon. It does a ton of damage for the speed that it attacks at, so she pretty much one or two shots everything early on in the game. Assassins are, and part of the reason I wanted to do this Let's Play, this is a damage leather armor with a defense of 10, this is regular leather armor with a defense of 17. Defense actually doesn't matter that much, but we'll go ahead and put it on anyway. I'll kind of explain some of the mechanics of the game as we go through them. And there's got to be a shaman over there. It's just going to be really annoying. And there you go. We went ahead and took a potion there because our life was starting to get a little bit low. And, yep, we're up to another level already. There must be another shaman over here who's resurrecting these guys. Very annoying. Oh, yeah. He's up. You can see him carrying his little staff. Okay. We have run into our first kind of unique boss. This kind of glowing blue zombie over here named Corpse Fire. And he's the first kind of big boss you're going to run into in the game. It's not a big boss. He's a mini boss. He's like a mini boss, really. Oh my gosh, there's another dude over here. Corpse Fire is really annoying. He has an ability called Spectral Hit, which means that every time he hits you, he's going to do some kind of magical damage. It's either going to be, you know, fire damage or poison damage or whatever. So before we go ahead and fight him, let's go ahead and level up, and we'll take a look at this. We've actually gained 2 levels. We haven't done anything with it. So right now, I'm just going to put more points into Vitality, because that increases our stamina and also our life. And that is really nice. Inventory is what it is. Now we look at our skill tree, and we are going to go ahead and start off as we're going to be primarily a traps assassin. And a number of reasons for that, but traps are one of the very best things to start with in the game. You can see we have 3 basic skill trees here. Martial arts, which refers to like different kinds of attacks that typically will add like elemental damage or things like that to your attacks. And this is all based on a combo skill system of building up charges and then expending them and all that kind of thing. My first character did use some of these things, but I started using really traps were the main thing. And like so many people when they first start playing this game, you're not thinking about what's my end build going to be. It was just put points into things that sound cool and see how they work. But we're going to try to do a build that makes sense as we go through this. Shadow disciplines, these are a lot of these things. It's a combination of some passive skills as well as some just kind of buffs that you can give yourself. Claw Mastery just improves your claw damage. This Burst of Speed is really nice. It just makes you run and attack faster. This is a fantastic skill that assassins get. But, like I said, we're going to work on the traps tree, and we're primarily going to focus on the fire traps for the first maybe 30 or 40 levels of this character. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bind this to the B button here. And we're just going to put our points into that Fire Blast skill. And you can see now we have the ability to just throw this little firebomb out. And it actually does a pretty ridiculous amount of damage at low levels. So we're just going to use this to kind of fight Corpse Fire here. Let's see, we're just kind of knock him down pretty quick. And now he's dead. So, you can see, but doing that expended almost basically all of our mana. So, every skill you use in Diablo uses mana. Well, I don't want to say every one, but almost every ability uses mana. And that's kind of the universal resource that all characters have, health and mana. And so you get 0 health and you die, you get 0 mana, and then suddenly you can't do a lot of skills, a lot of those cool skills that you learned. So, I don't remember if I got down here or not. Shrine down here. There's some gold. Sure, we'll pick that up. And Health Shrine, sure. Didn't really need it anyway. Mana Shrine would have been more useful. Alright, now we're going to run back over. I believe the objective of this quest is just to clear out the Den of Evil. Where am I going? Quest log. Here we go. Yep, kill all the monsters in the den. This is a very basic first quest that you get. And when we finish this, we will pretty much wrap it for today. For our inaugural episode of the Diablo Let's Play. Oh, now the quest is updated. There are 5 monsters remaining. It's kind of nice that it tells you to do this. And I don't care how many times I've played this game, I always end up... just seems like it always ends up, you know, in a situation where there's 1 or 2 monsters left and you just can't find where they are. These guys are all spread out. I was going to try to throw a firebomb at them, but they're spread out all over the place. Rare throwing knife, or actually a magic throwing knife. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so we're gonna leave it here for now, and when I come back next time, I'm gonna go ahead and we will be back in the rogue camp and unload our stuff, talk to Akara, complete our quest, and then see what our next task is gonna be. See you then.